no matter what. I am feeling great.
On behalf of Godlywood Studios, I would like to welcome all our viewers from across the world to a special edition of Light of Knowledge. What makes this so special today is our special guests from Russia. We have with us a very special person, Sister Polina from Russia. She started her soul's journey about 26 years back, a quest and a journey very interesting that we all must know, we all must share with you. A very warm welcome to you, and I welcome you to the studio. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Jim. I'm so glad to be amongst you here.
So, Sister Polina, today it's a very special day because we have you here. Your presence itself is so special for us, and I would want you to share your experience, how you came to India, how you come here, and your journey, what it has been like. So would you like to share with us a little?
Yes, certainly I would. But I should say that when I came to know about the university, Brahma Kumaris University, I didn't immediately come to India. I came only 5 years later. And that was not my immediate aim to come to India. When I was young, I was 26, 27 years old. And at that time I thought that what do I want in my life? That I want to be good. And I want someone who will teach me how I can become good. I felt internally that I'm good, really I'm good, but how to realize my personality, how to be like that in the life, I didn't know. And so at that time I finished my education in Moscow State University, and then I was passing through upgraduation, and I was sitting in the largest library in Moscow in the Soviet Union. There's a library named by Lenin. And instead of reading some scientific books, I was reading some Vedas, some scriptures, and I was trying to search maybe somewhere it is written how to become good. Oh. And at that time I was thinking that who am I and what is the purpose of my life? I thought that it is very important to understand, because it will help me to become good, really good, and honestly good, not to show that I'm good, but be really good in your heart. And at that time I was reading the book of one scientist, and it was written there that when a person dies, then he has some astral bodies, several bodies, and then one body dies, then another, then second and third, and then a point of light remains forever. And then I thought, that means I'm the point of light, if it remains forever. And at that time I was working in Moscow in the Institute of Economy, in the Russian Academy of Science, and Soviet Academy of Science at that time. And one lady from our department, she came to me and just asked, do you want to know who you are? If you want, then come to the Brahmakumaris. The teachers came from India, and they will give a lecture on this topic. And yes, I was thinking about it just yesterday, that who am I? And then I came, and then I saw my teachers, these ladies in white, like beautiful swans. At that time, maybe this age, 26, 27, maybe it is people think that it is like a mature age, but I was not mature. I was like very innocent.
This lady who came to you, she met you at the library?
Not at the library. It was in my institute, in the Russian Academy of Science.
Okay.
She was working with me, and she met me and asked, "Do you want to know who you are?"
Okay.
And at that time, I thought that I need some guidance. I thought that I have to somehow make a form of my personality. And when I saw these teachers, I thought that I can trust them, that what I see, that I want to be. I also want to be like that. And what like that, if you ask me at that time to explain, I could not.
But you were only 26. That's a very young age for somebody to start a journey of the soul, you know, for the soul searching. But so how was it like at such a young age? How did you, wasn't it difficult for you? Were you not tempted to go back to the life where you had come from?
No, it was not difficult. It was interesting. Because that life, maybe I could not realize at that time, but I didn't feel like enjoyment. Like going to cinemas and going with friends somewhere. I had friends, but I wanted deep relationships. I was not interested in such like superficial relationships. That is why that life, it was not attractive to me.
When you see yourself today, you've been associated, you've been on this spiritual journey now, I think, for 26 years.
Yeah,
right?
26.
So if you see yourself today, and if you were to compare yourself before that, before 26 years, how do you see yourself today?
I can say that at that time I was like a baby who just took birth, just was born. And these years, like I was growing up as a soul, I was growing up and learning different skills, different wisdom of life, and getting strength. And previously I was so sensitive. It was very easy to hurt me. My mother was a little bit strict and was like that strong. And that is why I was habituated to follow her, to listen what do like this and do like that. And I was very respectful and humble. And still I am like that now. But I can say that now there is not only gentleness inside, but also strength.
So when people see you, when our viewers are going to see you today, I would request you to share your experience of your association with this organization in India. And, you know, because this seems to me like a global family. You know, it seems like a very open kind of a setup where, you know, I think it's very inviting for everyone, and anybody can start their spiritual journey at any age, I believe. Or is there like a age restriction or anything?
No, in Moscow, in our center, there is Center of Spiritual Development associated with Brahma Kumaris. And students are there from so small, young age until there are so many very old ladies. And they came into this university when they were middle-aged, and now they became old, and we came young, and now we became middle.
Say if somebody in America or somebody in Canada today is also looking for, you know, a deeper meaning in life, like you felt, you know, what if one of our viewers feels the same way, that they feel a bit hollow, you know, they want to understand life better. What would your message be to them? How do they go about it?
I would tell them that come and you will see the truth, and come and you will open those miracles that you even could not imagine previously. As I came here, I was searching for how to become good, how to learn this life, but I never even dreamt what I will find here. But I have found here God. I can say that the whole world is searching for Him, and I have found. And it is so deep in my heart. And I understood, I began to understand Him. And maybe I can open the secret of my heart to you. I can say that I love God.
What was the driving force? What was it that really got you here? What was it? What was that burning desire inside of you? Was it just to be good, or was it something more?
There was a lot of desires, but they were not systematic at that time. I wanted to be good, but also at that time I felt that there is some desire of deep love, true love inside the heart. And I was searching for that love. And I was seeing that I don't see that love that I wanted. But I didn't know at that time, I didn't expect at that time that I will find this source of that love that I want to feel. I know that different people have different opinion who is God. But I was thinking today. And at that time I was thinking that when I was born, my father separated from our family.
Okay.
And then when I was young and finished the university, he left.
Mm-hmm.
He died.
Oh.
And at that time I thought, one, I have lost my father twice in my life. And then I got the answer that yes, you had this father of the body. He is your father. He helped in some way. He separated from us, but he didn't leave me. He helped me. He gave me education, very good education. He helped me to grow up. But he left. But I also have the father of the soul. And at that time I was thinking that who he is, the father of me, the soul, who he is.
This is before coming.
No,
this is before coming
I was coming to this university and getting this knowledge and this education in the university, and side by side I was thinking.
Okay.
It was like my personal internal process.
Right.
And at that time I was thinking, forever, he will never separate from me. I felt that. He will never leave me alone. I felt that. Because when my father left, I left in this life totally without any male support. Mm-hmm. Only my mama. Now she's still alive. She's about 90 years old. And now I am support for her. Only she and me. And I had to get education and to go for a job. And now I can say that I can do anything. I can drive a car. I can have a job. I can repair any flat. I can do anything. But at that time, I was so like that girl, so sensitive.
How old were you when your father passed away?
Mm-hmm. It was 85. I was 23.
That's very young.
Very young. And when I was just born, he separated from our family. Right. That is also, I was...
Just born.
Just born, yeah.
You know, when I see you, it just makes me wonder that, you know, somebody from India to associate with an organization that has its roots in India, it's very easy. But for somebody abroad, you know, how did this happen? Because Brahma Kumaris is an organization which has its headquarters, its roots in India. Then how come,
yes,
you know...
But we have to understand the essence of this education, which is given in the University of Brahma Kumaris.
So what clicked for you?
At that time, when I was searching, when I was sitting in the library, and at that time there was such a subject, the history of religions at that time, and I read a lot. I read Bible, I read Quran, I wanted to understand the history of every religion and every nation and so on. I was very much curious at that time. But side by side, I want to understand, and I thought that there must be some common truth. And this truth must be above all religions of nations, nationalities. Right. That I was searching. There must be some laws in the life, and we have to understand them if you want to live our life like a dignified person. And when I came, it was not important. Is it from India or from somewhere else? I was looking at the seed. At the center level, I want to understand the essence.
Correct.
And when I got it, when I understood, I thought, that is mine. 1 year before I came to this university, my mother was a little bit sick, and I was searching how to treat her. And I came to the conclusion for myself that vegetarian diet is very good and very useful for the health. I was not the student of this university at that time, but I read books, I was listening some lectures and so on, and I decided very firmly that in our home there will be no some meat and meat products, no any meat. And when I came, 1 year passed, and I came to this university, and there was one lecture, that explanation that why a vegetarian diet is very nice. So I thought I thought like that it is right.
Right.
Yeah. And then philosophy of actions, philosophy of karma, how to be good, what is sukarma, what is good actions. Then as if I opened for myself, as if someone told me my own thoughts.
So you felt as if you were getting the answers to your own questions.
Yes, as if I was getting the answers to my questions, but this answer was as if mine, as if I'm answering, because I was so much agree with the answer that as if this thought is mine.
So you were able to relate to the answers as if it was yours.
As if it was mine. As if I am speaking. As if it is my internal truth is speaking. So I found that it is correlated very much with me, with my internal being. That was my experience.
Tell us about your first trip to India. How was it like?
And 5 years or maybe 6 years later, there was opportunity to come to India. I came. I was doing service like interpreter in a Moscow center.
Okay.
And there was a need to come to India to do service. But it was very big group coming. And even now I remember this impression, this smell of the airport. I can't even describe this. I came like it was ordinary, and then when we took our luggage and came into the city, the open air, and like this, I like took the breath in, all these colors, all these people, all these impressions, and like from deep memories, it came out as if at last time at home. It was like that.
That's so amazing. That's such a wonderful experience. So we welcome you back home,
Yes,
and I'm so glad that
Yes.
you're home. And, so we are one family, and it's so nice to have you back. So welcome back. And so what was that trip like? How did it go?
I'm very fortunate. Why? That I have 2 motherlands, not only one. And I feel very much at home here. But also it should be right to say that in Russia, I've got all the best that a person can imagine. The best education, the best upbringing, very much sincere souls as my mother, very good people as my classmates, as my teachers, and so on. As if Russia gave me everything, musical education and universal education in the university, and they taught me languages, and all the culture and all the skills and everything. And Russia also made me like powerful in life. I can do everything, anything. There is no problem for me. And the second motherland, that from which I got my spiritual birth. And in turn, India gave me everything. Very nice education, the best teachers, the best upbringing. So in my heart, as if 2 mothers. I have 2 mothers. And when I came to India, I began to, as if to give a return. It was not like I was obliged. No, I wanted to give a return, as I want to give a return to my mama, to my mother. And I wanted to do service.
So you felt such a strong bond with India.
It was like so natural, as if I was here all the time.
You said, Sister Polina, that you've come here in India, you found God.
Yeah.
Tell us your experience with God. Tell us, how did you find God, and what is your relationship with God, and what is it that is new about every day now versus what it was earlier?
Previously, I was searching for God. I was thinking, who is God? But I didn't know Him. I wanted to know, but I had no chance to know. I didn't feel that when I go to somewhere, to some temples or somewhere, I felt, no, not here, somewhere else. I was reading books, it was written that there is something, but there was no feelings inside, there was no like answering. But when I understood, I was thinking who God is when I began to get this education. I understood, I was thinking, at that time I was very young and maybe too much innocent. And I was thinking like that who is the mother and father, who is the parent of a human being? And I told to myself that a human being, certainly. Then I thought, who is the mother and father of an elephant? Of course, an elephant, yeah. But then, who is the parent of a soul? It means also soul.
So all this started happening even before you came?
No. Just when I came, at that time, side
and when
by
you
side.
started? Okay.
I started, yes. I was getting the education here in the university, but I was thinking myself, I also was thinking about that. I was deciding, I was searching for the answer of my questions. And then, when I understood who he is, then I didn't even notice how the love to him appeared in my heart. I can't even say when it was, how it was. Simply as if I was born with it. Maybe it is inherent, maybe I got it from my teachers. Maybe it was sleeping in my heart. When I came here in India to Madhuban, I felt so much close to God. I met him. My relationships with him are so like as a secret of my heart, and which I can open to only my near and dear friend, to my sister. And when I came to Madhuban, I thought that I am a soul, and he also is a soul, but simply he is an elder to me, he is supreme. I know that inside I am like embodiment of love. Yes, I know this is my quality, but he is the ocean of love. He can grant you any experience of love, and I got so many experiences of him, and I felt it. I know it. It is a fact for me. I told him that you have conquered my heart, and I also want to conquer your heart. At that time, I remembered there was one very innocent song, very nice, from very old film, Russian Soviet film. This film was shot in early 50s. And a girl, she is singing to her bridegroom that I love you so much so that you will never be ever able to stop to loving me. It will be impossible for you. And that I was singing to my God, to my beloved.
I think your experience and you yourself coming over here and associating with an organization in India, being a foreigner, your roots are in Russia. It's just so beautiful when I hear your experience, and I'm sure our viewers must have really enjoyed listening to you. It's really amazing. I'm wonderstruck at your experience and how you felt the connection when you returned back to India. There's so much more that I would want you to open up about and share with us, but due to the constraint of time, we'll have to take a break here today. But we'll be back with you very soon to know more about you and know more about your experiences with the divine, with the supreme, as you call it. Thank you so much, Sister Polina, for being here. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So I'm sure, viewers, you really enjoyed today's episode of Light of Knowledge. It's so amazing that someone who lives so far away has such a special bond with India, and their soul searching brings them here all the way. They find their true happiness and their thirst is quenched. Still a lot more to share with you. We will be back very soon with another episode of Light of Knowledge. Until then, thank you. Om Shanti.